What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of V4 Trigun Stampede. This is episode 6, and with me, as always, I have Lisbeth.
hmm Um, I don't know, but I really feel like that they're setting up Wolfwood to die pretty soon, because that's where I feel like this is where it's headed. I mean,
Well,
we've already gotten just
I,
the backstory of Wolfwood in this iteration.
yeah, I mean, well, obviously, no spoilers for the original series, but, of course, Wolfwood he does die in the original series. But I like how I like how it is handled in the original series because we have way more time to get to know his character before he gets killed. I really hope they're not planning to kill him off this early if that's the case, because I mean, yeah, we get his backstory and all that in this episode, but I feel like we just need a lot more time with his character for if he does die, for his death to really have any kind of meaning. So I mean, I hope that's not the case.
I mean, the season's only being planned for at least 12, 13 episodes, and
Yeah.
so far as I know, that there's no second core being planned, as far as I can tell. Um, I mean, we do get like one of the characters from the original anime. Was it Legato Blue Summer is also back with this design slightly different. Well, of course, like as with every other character, their design's been updated.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Meryl and Roberto drop off Vash and Wolfwood over at the port where they board what was it, this sand crawler like ship or something like that to take them to July. However, during the transit, Vash is attacked by an assassin who's somewhat similar to Wolfwood, who of course Wolfwood recognizes as his friend named Livio.
Yeah, and this is kind of where we get into the backstory of Wolfwood. I was kind of surprised at the way they did this, with how they kind of changed the art style. It's kind of interesting. I was not expecting that. I mean, what did you think of the different the way which it was done? As kind of like this, they transitioned to, I guess, a hand drawn style, as opposed to the CG which they've been using.
It was a unique presentation to showcase Wolfwood's backstory. But what I'm also surprised at, like how significantly different his backstory is in this one compared to how it was presented in the original series.
Yeah, the only thing it seems like they kind of kept was him being from an orphanage.
Yeah.
But what's really weird to me too is I don't know if you've noticed this, but in the last episode we had the whole child experimentation thing with that Rollo being turned into a cyborg, and then in this episode we have even more of that with them trying to experiment on Wolfwood as a child and his friend, and turning them into these basically weapons, I guess. So that's really different, of course, because I don't remember anything like that from the original series. Not really sure what the whole plan is with that. They're just taking these kids and just doing all these weird experiments on them.
Yeah, and particularly Wolfwood, his body was artificially aged over the course of whatever.
Yeah,
possibly for a short amount of time.
It's pretty much what happened with Rollo too, because he was I guess whatever they gave him was some kind of accelerated aging or something like that.
Yeah, and possibly something similar happened to Livio as well. Of course, they added some kind of cybernetic parts to the left side of his face. Of course, Wolfwood on several occasions tried to escape the facility to go back to the orphanage, but of course he gets stopped by Blue Summer, who uses his left arm to basically just nearly crush him to death. But of course, with Wolfwood, I guess he ingests some kind of whatever it is to completely heal himself from every sort of wound.
Yeah, because we saw at the beginning of the episode when he was chasing this one person down, he ends up getting shot and you think he's dead, but then he ingests some of this fluid, and then he comes back. He just comes back to life, and his wounds heal.
Yeah. But yeah, back in the present, we much of this episode is mostly focused on the, I guess, the fight sequence between Vash and Wolfwood going up against Livio, and most of the time they're trying to avoid um what was it, the ship guards from from chasing both uh Vash, Wolfwood, and of course Livio. Of course Livio like shoots down anyone who gets in his way, while
Mm.
Vash just does, Vash and Wolfwood are doing their absolute best not to kill Livio by any means necessary, which is ironic, which considering that the last episode Vash tried so hard to try to stop Rolo from his rampage until Wolfwood himself ended up straight up killing him. But now it's like at the other end of the stick, in which Wolfwood wants to go out of his way to save his friend,
Yeah.
and of course the only difference is Vash is willing to help him out. So now it's I guess like the other side of the coin is like flipped in another direction now.
Yeah, it's interesting how that happened. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, they're also like I guess rated by I guess like pirates or something or
Yeah, I think
the
they called them the Bad Lads
the
gang.
Battle Lads gang. Yeah.
What happens before this is Zazie and Blue Summer were right next to the ship, and of course Blue Summer uses his telekinetic abilities to cripple the ship, which allows the gang of pirates to board the ship. And of course that of course that there's a little bit scene there's a scene before this is that Meryl and Roberto were, I guess they were trying to drive back to meet up with Vash and Wolfwood again until they come across to this pirate gang but before they raided the stand, the what was it, that sandcrawler machine thing.
Mhm.
And of course with the combination of the pirates, the what was it, the ship's guards, Livio, pretty much, and of course Zazie and Legato being involved, pretty much complicates the entire situation for both Vash and Wolfwood in trying to deal with the situation.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of end the episode there with the them just kind of being surrounded by these pirates. Um, I thought it was an interesting episode. Like, I'm really not sure where they're taking Wolfwood as a character. And also this weird, like, child experimentation thing, plot with knives. I'm not sure what his end goal is with that, like, why he's doing this. So I'm really curious about that. But, I don't know. I thought it was a pretty okay episode. I especially like the different art style they were showing with the flashback segments. But yeah, it's hard to say. Like I'm just not sure where the plot in general is going because I feel like nobody really knows because they're kind of going their own direction with this plot. Because I mean it might be taking stuff from the manga, as according to some people it is. But I don't know if it's going to like try to follow the same general plot as the manga.
It just feels like the story for Stampede has gone on a much faster pace than the original anime has.
Yeah,
Because we're already getting Wolfwood's backstory this quickly. Not to mention that we already saw Vash encounter knives like as soon as the third episode.
yeah, and which is why I'm kind of afraid that his death might come sooner in this one as opposed to the original series. Which I don't know. I feel like it's like we just got to just got introduced to him like a couple episodes ago. So I feel like it's not really gonna be as impactful as it was in the original if when they kill him in this series. I think I guess it depends on how it's done, but I just can't see it working as well.
I mean, it's. I still thought it was like a pretty decent episode to explore Wolfwood's backstory. It's just I'm surprised that like it already got to his backstory this quickly, just like 3 episodes into his first appearance.
Yeah, the pacing is definitely something that concerns me. But yeah, I thought aside from that, it was a pretty decent episode for the most part. But I don't really have too much else to say about it, though. I don't know if you have anything else to say about it.
Like I said, episode also the most heavy seen so far. I mean, the animation quality is still top notch, considering it is, a CGI anime series.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Studio Orange. As soon as I saw they were attached to it, I wasn't really that concerned about the animation quality. I feel like it was more so just the new character designs that took some getting used to, especially with Vash.
Yeah, and of course, still getting used to the fact that they're taking liberties with some of the plot lines, including
Yeah.
including like removing Millie from the storyline for whatever reason. It just I don't know. It's just I still have mixed feelings as for them just getting rid of her in
Mm.
place of Roberto. They could have like kept Millie in there and then added Roberto at the same time, but I just don't know. Honestly, I just don't know where they're taking that particular direction. But yeah, it's just my worry is they're already heading into direction where Wolfwood is gonna get killed pretty soon rather than later.
Yeah, that's like I said, that's what I feel like could potentially happen with the way they're going. Um, but yeah, I guess we'll see. So that all being said, guys, until next time, we will see you all later.